on this episode of the Girl Talk Podcast.
Awareness is, for me, the first step, and that comes from just thinking through what are the typical things that I do to distract myself during the day. Yeah. I've done it before where I'm like, okay, I know I'm distracting myself from like dealing with things. I don't care. I'm still doing it. Yeah. But at least I have a choice.
Right.
It's not automatic.
Hello there. You are listening to the Girl Talk Podcast. My name is Carol.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Trisha.
And we are so glad you have joined us today. We are going to be talking about how to be present in the moment.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, I know, right?
Did you say something?
And if that made you want to turn off this podcast, then you are not alone. Because I think probably to more of a degree, I think Trisha and I are more alike. We're more easily distracted. But I think you get distracted too.
Oh, yeah, totally get distracted. Yes.
All right, so we're going to talk about that. What is the biggest distraction in your life, or the most common distraction? What would you say?
It's a square object that I carry in my pocket.
Yeah.
And I carry in my...
It's actually a rectangle, but... You know.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Sorry.
Let's go over shapes.
Right.
Now we're all thinking of shapes.
Take two.
We're getting off track already.
Can you imagine?
It's a shiny object.
It's a shiny
squirrel.
one.
Yes.
Yeah.
With all the pretty pictures and all the pretty colors.
And is there something specific about your phone that you get hung up on? Is it like email? Is it social media? Is it...
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All the things?
Yes, and a game. There's this one game. I don't even remember the name of it, but it's stupid. It's a stupid game. You farm, and I'm growing like fake crops that I can get no benefit from.
My kids play that one.
Yeah, it's
Farmville
dumb.
or something like that?
Yeah, I don't Gardenscapes or...
okay.
I don't something.
What about
Doesn't
you,
matter.
T? What's your...
I think thoughts get me distracted.
Yeah.
So I'll start thinking about something else usually, and it's oftentimes a schedule thing or something I'm looking forward to, something I would rather be doing, or I'll just be letting my mind go in some crazy track and I'm just gone from where I'm standing. I'm somewhere else thinking about the tennis match that I need to schedule or what happened the last time I saw my friend, and my mind just goes off track all the time.
Yeah. Well, I'm sitting here thinking, after you mentioned that one, I think both of those are pretty common for me. But then just people, like somebody walks in and says, oh, I need you to help me with this. And so I'm like all about that. And then I'm thinking, what was I doing before I was doing that? I mean, you know, so I think there's all sorts of things that can be a distraction for us. I think we have more distractions now than ever.
That's by design, I think. I think we're being grabbed. Our attention, they've done some research to show that they grab our attention in different ways, whether it's on a commercial or some kind of thing you're listening to or social media, all these alerts that come up, something quick, news, something flashy, and it just takes us away, and that's what it's designed to do.
Even breaking news. I was just thinking about that. Yeah. When that comes up on your phone, you automatically look at it because it's breaking news.
And it's something about Kim Kardashian.
Right.
It's like, how is that breaking news?
Yes.
Alert.
Yeah.
Yeah. They know how to get us is the point.
Right. Absolutely they do. And there's even research. I think this was actually a movie. Somebody told me about this, and I don't remember the name of it. But they actually went back to the people who designed Facebook and Instagram, all the social media channels, and they were very strategic in planning how they get you to stay on Facebook or on Instagram or on whatever social media you choose. There's actually strategy behind that, and it works. You know, it works real good.
Oh, yeah.
Your feed is targeted to the things that you've looked at before. Ooh, she likes the royal family.
And now they've picked all those like reels where you can watch like 15 seconds of somebody doing something.
Yes.
For me, the thing I really love are these like paint where they're like dropping big buckets of paint on different things and making
visual.
Yeah, all these different great art
things. It doesn't look
it's
like you dropped a bucket of paint.
Not
it looks
at
like a
all.
Masterpiece.
It's gorgeous, and just one after another, I can just watch through, and just my eyeballs get really big and all spacey. It's like I'm being hypnotized watching these people make amazing art.
Yeah.
Is there something for you in particular?
I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm fascinated with the royal family.
Yeah, I mean,
and they know that. Well,
yeah.
here's this little blurb. Here's this little blurb. Here's this interview. Here's what Princess Charlotte said. Okay, I'm watching it.
Yeah.
But I also, those videos are similar for me too, and they'll do cooking things like that, or they'll say it's a hack, and I'll watch it forever.
That's mine.
And
That's
nothing
life hack.
happens. Yeah. There's just all sort of things. They know what what we've clicked on before, what we're interested in, and so it's targeted to you.
26 things you can do with an empty soda bottle. Like, I never do any of the 26 things, but I sure
you might
love watching it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to throw this out because there are 26 things I could make with it. But I never do any of those things. So, as we need to get back on topic
Sorry,
here.
we were...
Yes. So,
amazing.
Think about it. Actually probably more than 5 years now, I thought about this. I was forced into a time in my life where I had to walk slow. My dad was sick and he was going through a difficult time, and I was charged with helping him. He didn't walk well anymore, and he was weak, and so I would help him. And it, like, one day, it was almost like a lightning bolt hit me. A lightning bolt didn't hit me, but it hit me in such a way that I was like, that's interesting, because I called it the blessing of being able to walk slow. Because so many of us are in such a hurry to get to the next thing. And as I was helping my dad, my job was to keep him safe and to move obstacles out of his way. And in doing that, I had to pay more attention to my surroundings. And I was like, I never realized that there were these beautiful flowers here on the side of the walkway. Or I never realized that, my dad and my hands look exactly alike. I mean, little things like that, that in the course of a day, you just zoom right by. And I got to thinking about all of the things that I had missed because I hadn't been present. I'd been staring at a rectangle, or I had been, learning about the royal family, or about what Kim Kardashian was doing, or how many things I can make out of an empty soda bottle. Like, that's sobering for me, because, and it really gives me motivation to go after the things that are distracting me, to kind of try to, I know you can't eliminate all of the distractions in your life, but I can do some things to help cut down on the amount of distractions that I allow. Does that make sense?
It does. And I just want to back up for just 1 second, because I want to celebrate the fact that you took the time to hold your daddy's hand and walk slow. Because I think there are so many times when we actually rush through that, where we say, we get frustrated because somebody's not moving as fast as we want them to be. But you took that moment, and that's a moment that will be forever implanted in your brain. That's a moment you didn't miss.
Yeah.
You didn't miss that moment because you were distracted with something else.
Right. But, I mean, I'm not perfect, and there are a million other ones I did miss.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we all can relate to the point in our lives where our kids are like, watch me, mom, 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 mom. I mean, you've heard that all day long. And suddenly you're just like, I don't need to watch you do one more thing. I need to, stare at my phone.
But for all the money in the world, I would go back to those moments.
Yeah.
Right
absolutely.
Now. Because as with having a 15-year-old, you don't get those moments anymore. It's not, hey, mom, watch me. Come spend time with me. It's, mom, leave me alone.
Right.
And so how many of those moments did I miss as a mom when he was young because I wanted to look at my phone and be disconnected instead of being present in that moment with him and saying, I want to see what it is that you love so much.
Yeah.
Show me who you are.
Absolutely.
And I don't want to miss those moments.
Yeah.
Well, we don't get them back. We don't get any moments back. Yeah. And it's hitting me hard, all this stuff that we're talking about. But I am reminded that Jesus walked slow. Jesus took time. Jesus went off task. Now, he didn't get distracted. He was just moving in a different direction. So if you think about the times when they said, Jesus, we're going to go over here. And so he walks with them, but then a woman touches the hem of his garment. A man needs healing. He stops and he gives himself completely in that moment. Even though we might call it off task, he was completely on task, just in a different time frame than we are. He saw the people around him. And the faster we walk, the less we see the people around us, the people that are hurting, the people that need us, whether it's your father, whether it's your son, whether it's my husband, whoever it is, or my friend who's hurting, my friend who needs me to see that she is hurting.
Right.
But the faster I go checking items off my list, the less I see her.
Yeah. And I think one of the things that we tend to do, especially now in the culture we live in, is that we don't leave ourselves any margin.
That's true.
For that very thing. True. And because of this rat race, we And we're trying. It's good
Get more done,
stuff.
get
A
more
lot of
done.
the things we're doing are very good things, and they are God honoring things. But when we don't leave ourselves even a second of margin, to be able for God to interrupt what we have planned for something He has planned.
Yeah. And I think we live in a society that is bent on production. Like if you can't show me a fruit from what you're doing, then it is useless. Our culture says that. Like I find myself needing time to sit in this one particular space in my home and think. And it's not that I'm doing nothing, but my daughter will come in and she'll be like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm just thinking." She's like, "Oh, so you're doing nothing." Which she probably knows me better than anybody else. But in her 16-year-old mind, you know, there's no, like at the end of that time, I don't come out with some great revelation or mathematical formula that is going to solve the world's problems. But I think we've forgotten how to be quiet and be still and really appreciate those moments. At least I have.
I have too. Ask someone in your friend group or someone in your family, how was your day? Or did you have a good day? Or something like that. And listen, they will not tell you how their day was. They will tell you the things they did.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I was busy. I had this school board meeting, and then I had to go to work, and then I go pick up some groceries, and then I had a doctor's appointment. Because that's the way we think about our days, not how we are, or what we're thinking, or who we've impacted, but what we got done. And it's I will do it too if you ask me how my day was. I want to justify the time that I've spent. And it's amazing. It's the culture that we live in that we have to be aware of this.
So what if we started asking a different question? I did this a couple of years ago, and the first couple times I did it, people looked at me like, "What, are you trying to psychoanalyze me or something?" But I got in this pattern of asking people not how they are or how their day is going, but how's your heart? I love that question because it automatically removes all those
that is good.
tasks that they long to tell you about, and they go, "Oh," and they have to think about it just for a second.
And I think that's the important piece of it, is that you've made them pause and really breathe for a moment too, to go, "Oh, I haven't really thought about that. I haven't stopped in my own schedule to really stop and think how my heart is doing or how I'm doing." That's beautiful. I love that.
I do too.
Yeah.
How's your heart?
I think so much of the time I distract myself because I want to feel relaxed. I want to feel released. I want to just let down. I want some oblivion. And so I will seek it through distraction techniques like social media or thinking about my next tennis game and how I'm going to improve. It's just a distraction technique. It's just a way that I'm seeking release. I'm seeking the peace of Jesus. But instead of going straight to Jesus for the peace that He has and will give me, I go to all these other things, distracting myself from the pain of life.
So
and
true.
you know, I think that's something very important that you just said, that you're distracting yourself from the pain. One of the things that I find myself doing is not allowing myself to stop and think and be silent, because I'm afraid where my thoughts are going to go.
Yeah.
They may go to, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. And if I don't think about the hurt, then it's not going to hurt me.
Yeah.
And that's just not true.
Or I'll do other things. Eating is another way that we distract ourselves, if we're being honest. At least I have.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yes. 200% for
me. Yeah. So, you know, this begs the question of, okay, so we all can agree that in some way we are distracted, and it may be for different reasons. It may be to veg out. It may be to disconnect. It may be to mask pain, but we all have those. So what can you do to be more present? What has worked in your own life?
Number one, being aware of my tendencies. I know when I'm sitting on my bed and I'm scrolling those same videos, that is me avoiding, distracting. So awareness is, for me, the first step. And that comes from just thinking through what are the typical things that I do to distract myself during the day. And when I know those, then when I am doing them, at least I have a choice. I've done it before where I'm like, okay, I know I'm distracting myself from like dealing with things. I don't care. I'm still doing it. But at least I have a choice.
Right.
It's not automatic.
Yeah. And that being intentional to say, okay, here is my distraction. I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop right now, and I'm going to change. I am going. It's the discipline to make the decisions. It's the discipline when I'm playing the game on the phone, when I'm scrolling the Facebook, to be able to say, I'm going to choose a different path. I'm going to choose to turn it off and probably hide it, because otherwise I'm going to pick it back up again.
Yeah. Do you think two things that come to mind? One is accountability. I have to have accountability because I'm not very disciplined. And so I have to have that accountability in my life. I have to be open and vulnerable enough with somebody to say, hey, this is my struggle. But you would think, after me trying all these things to mask my pain, make my pain go away, veg out, unplug, disconnect, all those things, you would think that the first time that I tried something and it didn't work, that I would look for something new. However, I do not.
You're not original.
I go to the same things and I'm like, this didn't bring me peace before, so why do I think it's going to bring me peace now? This didn't make the pain go away before, but I think that's the cycle of our human nature. I mean, I think that's probably what's at the heart of addiction. You keep going back to the same things, thinking it's going to produce a different result, but it doesn't. But it's just what's familiar to you. So just in terms of practicality, obviously be aware, obviously be intentional, obviously build accountability in if you need it, which I do.
And prayer.
Absolutely.
I've sat on that bed and I've been like, I know I'm doing this. I can't stop. Jesus, please give me the strength to turn this silly thing off.
Yeah.
In that moment.
Yeah.
I tell y'all what I had to do. And this is embarrassing that I would spend so much time on social media when you have that little screen time report. I was embarrassed for anybody to see how much time I was spending on social media. I had to delete the apps off my phone. Then I reinstalled them because, we go back to that same thing that didn't work. But I reinstalled them. Now sometimes because of work. I used to make that excuse before. Because of work, we have to be on it sometimes. And we do at certain times. We have things that we got to do. But that was not the majority of the time that I was spending. Was not for work. So I have the apps on my phone, but I've gone into my settings and I have app limits. So it sends me a notification when I've spent the allotted time on that app and says, okay, ignore it for today. Give me 1 more minute. So if I'm in the middle of something, I can finish it, or remind me in 15 minutes. That's been a very helpful, practical tool for me. Has it cut down all my social media distractions? No, it hasn't. Short of, just taking it off my phone and not reinstalling it. I think that's always going to be a struggle for me. But it has helped me to set some limits, at least for my time. And now I'm not ashamed if somebody was to get my phone and look at my screen time. I'm like, yeah, tell me you don't have time to read your Bible. You just spent 9.5 hours on Facebook or whatever, Yeah.
I think one of the other things we can do too is take a moment and be present with that person or that group of people that we want to be present with. And once we have that and we remind ourselves of how beautiful that moment is, how much we want that, we go back to the prayer and ask God to change our hearts so that that's what we want, that we never forget those moments of being present and having fun with another human, an actual human, not an electronic version of a human.
Yeah.
And we cling to those moments so that we want them over and over and over again.
Yes. So maybe it's even deeper than heart. It's more desire, right?
Yes, absolutely. I think so.
So, yeah. Because I want my heart to change. But when you start talking about my desires, I'm like, I don't know about, I do. I know I should, but when you get really honest with God about your desire and what your desire is, I think that, it all makes a complete, beautiful circle about getting back to being aware of what you're doing that for.
That's right. And that's what I wanted to say. It's just like anything else. You want to exercise, identify the rewards you get from exercise, and then you're more likely to exercise. Yeah. You want to eat healthy, identify how you feel after you've eaten healthy, and that gives you, reward thinking. It's the same is true when you connect with another person in real life, face to face, and you see their eyes light up. Like as you were talking, I was thinking, look how pretty her eyes are. Aww. And I was enjoying that moment, listening to what you were saying. And Carol, Carol, you too. You've got beautiful eyes too, by the way, and beautiful hair. And you do too. So, but in those, you can't recreate those moments electronically. Right. The reward that I get from spending time with another person, the feedback I get, the sense of love and support and caring that I get, that's the reward I get from being present in the moment. Seeing my kid's face light up when I actually look at him and talk to him instead of look down and kind of nod. That's the reward I get. So when I remember the reward, I'm much more likely to engage in that behavior. That's just standard kind of philosophy for human living. Yeah. Yep. So see the reward you're getting and you're more likely to do it.
Yeah. I also have a little trick that I do from time to time and then I get irritated with it. So I go back to it. I guess we're seeing how cardinal I am today. But grayscale your phone. Choose the grayscale setting.
Carol, I love that you have so many practical things. Look at you. Look at you doing this. It's good.
I don't do it all the time. And in fact, if you pulled out my phone right now, it's not grayscale. But during times in my life where I realize I'm getting overstimulated by that kind of thing, I will grayscale it just because there is scientific research to prove that you don't pick up your phone as much when it's black and white as you do when it's color. It doesn't do the same thing.
It would make my farm on Farmville or whatever it is very uninteresting.
What vegetable is that? It's gray.
It's gray. It's dead vegetables. That's what it is.
That's what I grow.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's a lot of that. But here's the thing. As I think about this, and just as in our conversations, not even in my prep for this episode, but I'm just thinking about how Satan is so crafty. I mean, he's called the crafty deceiver, and he's so crafty. He crafts the ways to get our attention. He is not black and white. You know, he makes everything in color and three-dimensional so that it's real, and we think that that's really going to fill the void in our lives. He's like, oh, yep. I got that one.
I got it.
I had dinner with a girlfriend last night, invited her over to my house. We were sitting on my back porch having lovely conversations, talking about her kids, my kid. We got to the place where we were talking about what happened to the world. How did the world fall apart? What was the beginning of the end for where we are today? And we decided it was the computers. It was the precursor of these things we carry around with us. It was the computers and how Satan has used technology to keep us away from each other. That all of a sudden we've put up this technical barrier, this technological barrier, I guess, between us as humans, and we're no longer spending time together because we can connect a lot faster when we're using technology.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just thinking about that quote. What is it? If the devil can't make us sin, he'll make us busy.
Yeah. So just as you were saying that, this thought struck my mind. So because in the last couple of days, I've tried to order something 3 different times from Amazon, and they tell me it's going to take like 6 days to get here. So I cancel that order, and I find something similar, and I order that. Then they told me it was going to take 4 days to get here, and I was like, no, I want something that's Amazon Prime, and so I ordered it. It's supposed to be here today. I tell you that stupid story to say that as you were talking, I was like, Satan tries to pervert every one of the fruits of the Spirit.
Oh, yeah.
He takes us from love, he makes us hate. He takes us from joy and shows us sorrow. He takes us from peace and gives us turmoil. He takes us from patience and gives us impatience because everything's quick. And on down the line. And God just kind of went, bam, Carol, that's what he's after. He cannot bother your soul, but he can take your fruit.
Yeah. Good gracious.
I know.
What a word. What a word.
Thank you, God, because that wasn't Carol.
That is good.
But he is trying to pervert every one of those fruits in our lives. And
he looks at what God calls good.
That
calls
just
very
made
good.
me angry at this. Well, I just want to kick the devil in the shins all over again. Because that is his.
And we let him.
Oh, absolutely.
We give him.
We don't even let him. We invite him to.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say the same thing with a little less
Passion. Sorry.
It's good. No, it's good. We do. We open up that door and we say, come here.
How are we doing that? Explain this.
Yeah, I mean, one of the ways we're doing is letting this thing be a distraction. We're letting all of the things.
Yes. And we're taking our needs to the world and going, can somebody say something to make me feel better? Can somebody do something to stop my pain? Can some substance give me what I'm not finding in my life right now? And all of that was designed for Christ to fill in us. Right. That's where you get the fruit.
Yeah.
And if Satan can say, oh no, it's over here. It's in having the bigger house or the nicer car or the bigger job or the title or the perfect kids or the.
Yeah, and God also created us to be in community.
Right.
And that's the other thing that Satan wants to destroy. He wants to destroy everything God calls good.
Yeah.
The fruits, but also community. And so anything he can do to keep us, to distract us from being present with each other and being servants of each other and to each other in the name of Christ, he's going to do.
I just had a thought based on what you all are saying. I think one of the keys, at least for me, one of the keys to embracing the present is being grateful.
Oh, yeah.
Because looking for satisfaction and whatever else in all these other things, I'm not grateful. I'm looking for something else, something I think I deserve, something I need, something I want. But perhaps one of the takeaways for embracing being present in the moment is being thankful for the moment, being thankful for the person who's in the moment, either with you or being thankful for what you have in the moment, being thankful for this moment. This moment is a gift. And if I want to embrace being present in this moment, I need to recognize, number one, that it's a gift, and number two, thank the giver.
100%.
That'll preach right there.
Absolutely.
Well, that's based on what you all were saying, and I think it's true. Stop looking around. Start being thankful for what's right here.
Yeah. So good. Y'all, I feel like we could talk about this for 3 years and never get to the bottom of it. But the point of this whole podcast is to say, hey, we want you to be present, and we want you to be in front of the people that God has you in front of right now. It may even mean turning off this podcast,
right,
and tending to those little babies around your feet.
And we're glad you got this far in it.
Yes, we are. But it may mean some changes in your life. I am a big supporter of things that you can do, practical things that you can do that you can take away and do today that will help you cut down. But like I said, accountability is my key. So I have to have somebody who knows I'm doing those things and then periodically just asks for my phone to see if I'm actually doing those things or not. Right? So there's some practical things that you can do. Put down the phone. When my daughter got her phone, we automatically chose Sunday as our no phone day. And she has no phone on Sunday. Unless she's driving somewhere long by herself. I mean, there's some isolated incidences, but for the most part, Sunday is a phone-free. Now, I turn my phone completely off? No, I can. I have an elderly mom who I'm responsible for, so I have to keep my phone on. But a lot of times it stays in the bottom of my pocketbook. It's not out where I can easily get to it on Sundays. So that's just one thing that we do. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying that is a practical way that you can set those limits if you're not good at doing it for yourself like I'm not. Digital detox. We've heard a lot about that in the last couple of years, and a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people are trying to invent phones now that ring and text, and that is all.
Isn't that funny?
I would love to have
We
one.
went too far forwards. Let's go back.
Right.
I would love to have one of
those.
those, actually.
Yeah.
Because I think that would be a great way to set those parameters for me anyway.
Yeah.
No internet at all. So you can go through a digital detox where you just stay off all social media. I'm not a big fan of posting, I'm not going to be on Facebook for 26 minutes because I just think that I don't know. There's just something that I don't like about that, because I think at the very point that you are prideful about it, that's something that the devil can use as well. But I'm for just going away and letting the people know that you love, that may communicate with you on Facebook, hey, I'm taking a break. That is okay to do.
Mm-hmm. Or you don't even have to tell them. They'll figure it out when they don't hear from you.
Exactly. So that's another thing. Set limits on your phone, on apps on your phone. You can do that really. If you have an iPhone, it's real simple to do. I'm not as familiar with Android, but I'm sure there's a way that you can do that on Android as well. And set limits on apps that you know are dangerous for you. You talked about your thoughts in the first part of this episode. I struggle with that as well, especially on social media, because I compare what's going on in my heart to what I see people posting on Facebook, which is not really their real life. But I am bad to compare those two things. And so I start down a dangerous road when I start that comparison game. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I have to set limits on the things that I know that are dangerous for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So realizing that they are dangerous for you, that they take you to a not good place, you go back to that awareness. Yeah.
And I think one thing you can do when you're present with someone, when you when it's not about technology, when you're present with somebody, ask them questions.
Yeah.
If you really want to continue to look somebody in the eyes, the more questions you ask them, the more present you are in the conversation.
So be curious.
And that's a
curious.
gift. It's a gift to that person.
It
Absolutely.
is. Yeah, everybody wants to be seen and known and loved. Mm-hmm. And we have an opportunity to do that with the love of Christ.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I was talking with a friend this morning, and there's new research out that says people have half as many real deep friendships now than they did 20 years ago. And I think about my parents' generation, who they went through raising kids, went to church together all the way through, and were still doing stuff when they were senior citizens. Mm-hmm. I think about the way that they did friendship and the friends that I have now. And even the friends I had before kind of cell phones became a thing. Mm-hmm. Relationships tended to be much deeper. Yeah. So I think that should be a warning sign to us.
It's true.
That maybe we need to limit those things. So anyway, put down the phone, digital detox, set limits on your phone or apps that are dangerous for you, grayscale your phone, all practical ways that you can limit your time if the cell phone is a problem for you. If it's not, there are other things that distract you. Maybe there's a way that you can set limits or set accountability with those things. The point is that you be aware that it's an issue, number one. And number two, that you just take that before the Lord and ask Him to help you with that. Take that need to the Lord. Like, Lord, I need something. I'm going to all the wrong places for it. Like, you wouldn't take your car to a computer shop. You wouldn't take your car to a hamburger joint, right?
I would.
Well, and order something.
Not in order to get your car fixed.
Yeah, not to get the car fixed.
But what the thing is, our Creator knows exactly how we're put together and how we're wired, even our personalities, which are so different. And He has the ability to meet those needs.
And He's told us to be grateful.
Absolutely.
Be thankful. Ask things with a grateful heart.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the key of enjoying the present.
Absolutely. If you've got ideas or suggestions, we'd love to hear from you. You're always welcome to email us at girltalk@thelightfm.org. We always do the happy dance whenever we get an email from you. And you can also check in on the Facebook page, the Girlfriends page. We want you to be a part of this conversation. Thanks so much for listening today, and we'll see you next time we gather around these microphones for the next Girl Talk podcast.